Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. It is Thursday, December 15th at 2:02 p.m. and we are here for our weekly and regularly scheduled commission business meeting. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. With us virtually, we have Commissioner Caston and Commissioner Irvin. With us telephonically, we have Commissioner Thomas. Present in the hearing room, we have Commissioner Justin Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Carolee Williams, and Chair Belser. Before we begin, would you please join me in a moment of silent reflection? Thank you. Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, Vice Chair Powers and Commissioners. We have a busy agenda today. The first order of business is to set our next commission business meeting. Staff recommends that the next regularly scheduled meeting be held on Thursday, January the 12th, 2023 at 2:00 p.m.
Our next regularly scheduled meeting will be Thursday, January 12th at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Today we have 25 items on the utilities agenda and 9 items on our transportation agenda. Item number 1 on the utilities agenda is in docket number 2022-356C, which is a motion for admission pro hoc vici of Robin E. Tuttle, Esquire, on behalf of Sandhill Connections, LLC.
Commissioners, with regard to agenda item 1 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you. I move the commission grant the motion for admission pro hoc vici for Robin E. Tuttle, Esquire, filed on behalf of Sandhill Connections, LLC.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 2 is in docket number 1998-142C. This is a request for approval of the Second Amendment to the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications, LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and GC Pivotal, LLC, doing business as Global Capacity.
Commissioners, with regard to item 2 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion, please.
Vice Chair Powers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the commission approve the Second Amendment to the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications, LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and GC Pivotal, LLC, doing business as Global Capacity. So moved.
Thank you. Commissioners, with regard to Vice Chair Powers' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote and begin with Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is in docket number 2019-233A, which involves the treatment of deferrals in this docket. Staff presents for commission consideration a discussion of the parties' positions.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. With regard to agenda item 3, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission should preserve discretion to decide recoverability of all aspects of deferrals in rate proceedings. There must be a legitimate reason with supporting evidence to demonstrate the need for a deferral accounting order. Further, deferral accounting orders should not serve as a cost recovery findings, only a method to track and record the costs. I further move that we accept ORS's recommended two-pronged test that utilities should address when requesting a deferral accounting order. Namely, we must consider whether the costs in question are unusual or extraordinary in nature and whether, absent deferral, costs would adversely affect the utility's earnings as compared to the most recently allowed return set by the Commission. All utilities are advised to answer and fully address 8 of the considerations offered by Duke when requesting a deferral accounting order. They are as follows. 1, whether the expense being incurred by the utility is significant to the utility. 2, whether the expense is necessary, could not have been reasonably anticipated by the utility, or is beyond the utility's control. 3, whether the expense is of a nature that complete cost recovery cannot be captured through traditional rate making. 4, whether the expense is currently included in rates. 5, whether the deferral results in procedural efficiency. 6, whether the deferral will be included in a rate case within a reasonable time. 7, whether the deferral helps advance any technological improvement, modernization, or compliance with applicable law or regulation. 8, whether the costs being deferred will ultimately create customer savings or operational benefits from what would otherwise occur absent the expenditure. In the request for a deferral accounting order, the utility shall include an estimated impact on revenue and rates and include a cost-benefit analysis resulting from the request. This analysis shall evaluate the effects of deferral compared to recovery through alternative means. All utilities in receipt of a deferral accounting order shall file an annual report detailing each deferral accounting order that is outstanding to include the subject matter of the deferral, description, balance, carrying cost, current duration, impact on rates, and the estimated date to begin amortization. The companies may request waiver of these requirements depending on the nature of the deferral accounting order sought. I further direct the clerk's office to notify all electric, gas, water, and wastewater utilities of the Commission's ruling. Finally, I move that we direct staff to prepare an order consistent with our motion. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin?
Commissioner Thomas, I have a question about the provision that allows companies to request a waiver of these requirements. Could you give us an example of what would constitute good cause for a waiver of a deferral accounting order?
Well, that's kind of hard to guess what that might be. I guess basically we're just trying to leave it open just in case something, unexpected or unanticipated comes into play that maybe should allow the, just further exploration whether the deferral is appropriate or not.
Was it fair to say that as a routine matter, these 8 items should be fully addressed by any utility seeking referrals? Would that be the case?
Yes, I would agree with that.
Thank you, sir. No further questions.
Commissioners, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 4 is in docket number ND-2021-6A. Staff presents for Commission consideration a request for an update on the South Carolina Emergency Rental Assistance Program from Christopher Kuhn, Esquire, and a representative of AARP, South Carolina.
Commissioners, we've heard item 4 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Irvin?
Thank you. I move the commission invite Attorney Christopher Kuhn Commission appointed Program Advisory Panel member to provide an update on the South Carolina Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Also move that Commission staff contact Mr. Kuhn within the next 30 days about scheduling an update to be provided at a Commission business meeting. Mr. Kuhn may include other persons he may want to in this update as he deems necessary or appropriate. I further move that the Commission invite a representative of AARP South Carolina to provide information which AARP South Carolina may have the South Carolina Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Commission staff is directed to contact AARP South Carolina to invite a representative from AARP should AARP wish to also appear to update the Commission at the same time as Mr. Kuhn. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote and begin with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 5 appears in dockets numbered 2005-83A and 2022-162A. Staff presents for Commission consideration proposed procedural schedules for the integrated resource plans filed with the Commission.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 5, as described by Mr. Scarborough, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston?
I move the Commission adopt the following procedure schedules for integrated resource plans. For Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated, IRP filing date, January 30th, 2023. Hearing date, August 28th, 2023. Company's direct testimony due date, April 4th, 2023. All other parties' direct testimony due date, June 27th, 2023. Company's rebuttal testimony due date, July 25th, 2023. All other parties' rebuttal due date, August 15th, 2023. Beginning in 2024, Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated shall file its comprehensive IRPs and its annual updates on March 31st annually. For Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC, IRP filing date August 15, 2023. Hearing date April 8, 2024. Company's direct testimony due date October 24, 2023. All other parties' direct testimony due date January 16, 2024. Company's rebuttal testimony due date February 26, 2024. All other parties' rebuttal due date March 18th, 2024. For South Carolina Public Service Authority, also known as Santee Cooper, IRP filing date May 15th, 2023. Hearing date December 4th, 2023. Company's direct testimony due date July 14th, 2023. All other parties' direct testimony due date September 22nd, 2023. Company's rebuttal testimony due date October 27th, 2023. All other parties' rebuttal due date November 17th, 2023. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? I'd just like to say that I appreciate the parties working with the commission staff to work through these scheduling matters. These are quite involved proceedings, and it's very helpful to have a good idea of the schedule going forward. So I'd just like to thank the parties and the staff for working through this for us. If there's no further discussion, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 6 is in dockets number 2022-158E and 2022-159E. This is the joint application of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC for approval of an electric vehicle supply equipment program and a make-ready credit program.
With regard to agenda item 6, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission instruct the clerk's office at each of these dockets for hearing and to issue necessary notices and schedules. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 7 is in docket number 2019-323E, which is the request by Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for the commission to close the docket administratively due to the suspension of the project involved in the docket.
With regard to item 7, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston, you're recognized.
oh, yes, ma'am, thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC to administratively close the docket in this matter due to the suspension of the project. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 8 is in docket number 2022-259E. Staff presents for commission consideration the final disposition of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's application for a mid-period adjustment to increase base rates for the recovery of its electric fuel costs.
With regard to agenda item 8, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission accept and approve the stipulation in docket number 2022-259E as reasonable and in the public interest and in accordance with state law. The stipulation is a comprehensive and complete agreement of all parties made by and among Dominion Energy South Carolina, South Carolina Office of Regulatory Staff, the South Carolina Energy Users Committee, CMC Steel, South Carolina, the City of Orangeburg, and the South Carolina Coastal Conservation League and Southern Alliance for Clean Energy. The initial application filed by Dominion Energy South Carolina requested an increase from 3.032 cents per kilowatt hour to 4.877 cents per kilowatt hour, which would have resulted in an increase to a residential customer using 1,000 kilowatts per month from $132.79 to $151.34, or an increase of approximately 14%. The stipulation results in an increase to a typical residential customer using 1,000 kilowatts per hour a month from $132.79 to $140.53, or an increase of approximately almost 6%. As provided in the stipulation, the base fuel factor proposed by Dominion Energy South Carolina will be adjusted to reduce Dominion Energy South Carolina's forecasted fuel cost by $4,820,304 to remove the unsupported increase in nuclear fuel cost. The base fuel component will be set at 3.806 cents per kilowatt hour, beginning with the first billing cycle of January 2023 and extending through the last billing cycle of April 2023, and total fuel cost factors will be residential, 3.947 cents per kilowatt hour, small general service, 3.922 cents per kilowatt hour, medium general service, 3.910 cents per kilowatt hour, large general service, 3.867 cents per kilowatt hour, lighting, 3.806 cents per kilowatt hour. In addition, Dominion Energy South Carolina shall reevaluate the feasibility, cost, and benefits to customers associated with a natural gas financial hedging program for fuel cost for electric generation, the results of which shall be made available to the Commission, ORS, and other interested parties as part of the company's 2024 annual fuel proceeding in docket number 2024-2E. Dominion Energy South Carolina shall continue to monitor the status of the Mountain Valley Pipeline project and take actions agreed to in the stipulation for updates. The same is required should a schedule change for the Mountain Valley Pipeline or any other natural gas pipeline project Dominion Energy South Carolina is monitoring, should that occur. Dominion Energy South Carolina shall provide a report to the stakeholders regarding benchmarking of the Plexos integrated energy model to the Dominion Energy South Carolina system no later than February 28, 2023. A formal written commission order will be issued detailing the ruling and decision. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin?
well, I think there has been some good progress made in terms of reducing the amount of this fuel increase, the cost, and I commend the parties for trying to work through these issues. It still concerns me that even though we mentioned to Dominion Energy South Carolina, that they consider a program, to implement a program to hedge natural gas cost 2 years ago, and they have chosen not to do so. In the meantime, natural gas prices increased over 100% this past year, and I predict that they're going to increase again next year. Waiting till 2024 is simply going to miss yet another opportunity to put in place a hedging program to give ratepayers some protection against rising fuel costs. And so I'll be voting no in this docket for that reason. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Commissioners, any further discussion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers?
haven't we requested that they're going to give us some sort of update on a hedging program soon?
Commissioner Powers, my recollection is that there was an agreement in the in Dominion's purchase gas adjustment docket, and I think that they would be providing an update in the 2023 PGA. Subject to check. I'm going by memory there.
Thank you very much.
Commissioners, any further discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Justin Williams?
just want to note that because I was on sick leave during the hearing, I will not be voting.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. You'll be noted as not voting. Hearing no further discussion, we will have a roll call vote beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
No?
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams not voting. Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 9 is in docket number 2022-222E. This is a letter from Duke Energy Carolinas, LLC, regarding an amended purchase and sale agreement of real property located at 526 South Church Street in Charlotte, North Carolina.
With regard to agenda item 9, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission approve the sale of property as requested and amended by Duke Energy Carolinas LLC. The property will be sold at less than originally agreed upon due to market changes, with the new value being $35 million. This is less than the book value of the property, and DEC will not seek recovery of these losses from customers. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 10 is in docket number 2022-254E, which is the request of the Office of Regulatory Staff for the confidential treatment of the direct testimony and exhibits, where applicable, of Anthony M. Santanato, Aaron K. Rabin, and Brandon S. Bickley.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item 10 as described by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Powers.
Thank you. I move the commission grant the confidential treatment of direct testimony and exhibits, where applicable, of Anthony M. Sandinato, Aaron K. Rabin, and Brandon S. Bickley on behalf of the Office of Regulatory Staff.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 11 is in docket number 2016-200G. This is a request for approval of the corrected service agreement for transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and the South Carolina Department of Corrections, Kirkland Correctional Institution.
With regard to agenda item 11, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carolee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the commission approve the corrected service agreement for the transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina, Inc. and the South Carolina Department of Corrections, Kirkland Correctional Institution. The corrected agreement was executed on November 21st, 2022, and was filed with the commission on December 1st, 2022.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carolee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 12 appears in docket number 2019-207G. This is a request for approval of the agreement for transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and the South Carolina Department of Corrections, Allendale Correctional Institution.
With regard to agenda item 12, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
thank you. I move that the commission approve the service agreement for transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina, Inc. and the South Carolina Department of Corrections, Allendale Correctional Institution. The agreement was executed on November 21st, 2022, and was filed with the commission on November 22nd, 2022.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 13 appears in docket number 2022-156G, which concerns Piedmont Natural Gas Company Incorporated's petition to suspend routine meter testing.
With regard to agenda item 13 identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston?
I move that the commission accept as information Piedmont Natural Gas Company Incorporated's status report regarding ERT and Itron silicon chip supply status as requested by Commission Order number 2022-552. Commission Order number 2022-364 granted approval to suspend routine meter testing for the remainder of 2022. According to its letter dated December 2nd, 2022, Piedmont anticipates being able to have sufficient ERT and metering inventory to resume its meter sample testing program in 2023. When Piedmont finds it can resume routine meter testing, Piedmont shall notify the commission in writing. Additionally, Piedmont shall provide the commission and ORS an update on the status of this matter and provide quarterly updates beginning March 2nd, 2023, for so long as the program is suspended. Further, Piedmont is permitted to file an updated request for continuation of a waiver no later than December 1st, 2023, stating in detail the necessity of any further continuation. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston. Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 14 is in docket number 2022-371 EG. This is Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's application for approval to implement a prepaid program and waiver of notice and hearing. Staff recommends that this item be carried over at the request of the Office of Regulatory Staff.
Item 14 will be carried over.
Item number 15 appears in docket number 2022-365G. This is Piedmont Natural Gas Company Incorporated's application for approval of Appendix C to its South Carolina regulations. Once again, staff recommends that this item be carried over at the request of the Office of Regulatory Staff.
Item 15 will be carried over.
Item number 16 appears in docket number 2019-108G. Staff presents for commission consideration the acceptance of filing of the 23rd Amendment to the contract between the United States Department of Defense contract for Fort Jackson and Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated.
With regard to agenda item 16, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Justin Williams.
I move that the commission accept for filing the 23rd Amendment to the United States Department of Defense contract at Fort Jackson filed on behalf of Dominion Energy South Carolina. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 17 is in docket number 2022-285G, which is the petition for rehearing or reconsideration filed by Jerika Talina Sumter.
With regard to agenda item 17, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin.
thank you. I move that the commission deny the petition for rehearing or reconsideration filed by Ms. Sumter. As to the petition has not provided sufficient reason for the commission to take action different from our ruling in Commission Order number 2022-784. As the commission stated in the initial order dismissing the complaint does not comply with Commission Regulation 103-824 because it fails to assert facts sufficient to establish cognizable claim for relief, and the complaint therefore is properly dismissed without further proceeding. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion?
Chair Belzer,
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I just want to note for the record that I will not be voting as I was in training when we heard this particular item.
Thank you. Any further
Madam Chair,
discussion?
this commission,
Commissioner Thomas.
thank you. I also will not be voting. I was on leave at the time of the original proceeding.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas not voting. Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams not voting. Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 18 is in docket number 2022-358W. This is the request for approval of a contract for billing, payment, receiving, customer service, and coordination of services between CSWR South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, and Nitor Billing Services, LLC, along with a request for confidential treatment of the agreement. The Office of Regulatory Staff requests that this item also be carried over until its staff have the opportunity to review this agreement.
Item 18 will be carried over.
Item number 19 appears in docket number 2022-370WS. This is a request of CSWR South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, for waiver of notice and hearing concerning an operations and maintenance agreement with Clearwater Solutions, LLC, and a request for confidential treatment. Once again, the Office of Regulatory Staff requests that this item be carried over until its staff have the opportunity to review this agreement.
Item 19 will be carried over.
Item number 20 concerns an invitation to the South Carolina Energy Office for an allowable ex parte briefing on its report on the South Carolina Electric Vehicle Stakeholder Initiative.
With regard to item 20, is there a motion?
Chair Belzer, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the Commission invite the Office of Regulatory Staff, and in particular, the South Carolina Energy Office, to provide an allowable ex parte briefing on the South Carolina Electric Vehicle Stakeholder Initiative report. I further move that Commission staff work with ORS and the Energy Office to schedule the allowable ex parte briefing.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none,
Madam
will-
Chair.
Commissioner
Madam
Urban.
Chair, thank you. I support Commissioner Carol Lee Williams' motion. We're behind as a state in implementing electric vehicle charging stations. And while there's been federal grant funds applied for and approved by the Department of Public Safety, the Highway Department, as we call them, we need a comprehensive plan in place so that we can have sufficient number of charging stations in strategic places located around the state. And so I will certainly support this and look forward to hearing from the Office of Regulatory Staff as well as the South Carolina Energy Office as how best to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, any further discussion?
Chair Belzer,
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
thank you. I just wanted to note for the record that the Office of Regulatory Staff through the Energy Office has been working on this report over the past several years. And so this is a part of our getting up to speed and understanding the broader perspective that other elements of our state have invested in terms of electric vehicle and meeting the transmission needs as well as the needs of businesses and customers. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye. Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 21 concerns an invitation to the South Carolina Department of Transportation for an allowable ex parte briefing on its plan for the South Carolina National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Formula Plan, also known as the SC NEVI plan.
With regard to agenda item 21, is there a motion?
Chair Belser,
Commissioner Carolyn Williams.
thank you. I move that the commission invite the South Carolina Department of Transportation to provide an allowable ex parte briefing on the South Carolina on their work to provide on their work associated with electric vehicles, and in particular the South Carolina NEVI plan.
Thank
I
you.
further move that the commission staff work with South Carolina DOT to schedule the allowable ex parte briefing.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolyn Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 22 appears in docket number 2022-352E. Staff presents for commission consideration a request to the Office of Regulatory Staff and other interested stakeholders to file written comments regarding ChargePoint Incorporated's request to initiate a proceeding to implement amendments to PURPA Section 111D.
With regard to agenda item 22, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Carolyn Williams.
thank you. I move that the commission request interested stakeholders to file comments no later than Friday, January 13th, 2023, regarding ChargePoint's request as contained in ChargePoint's letter dated November 1st, 2022.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Hearing the motion of Commissioner Carolyn Williams, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner Carolyn Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 23 is in docket number 2022-256E. Staff presents for commission consideration clarification of Commission Order number 2022-789 concerning the selection of Sabre Partners as the independent third-party consultant in this docket.
With regard to agenda item 23, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin.
this is a clarifying motion in order number 2022-789, which read, and I quote, "Therefore, I move that the Commission's Executive Director be authorized to enter into contract negotiations with Sabre to determine the scope of work and a fair and reasonable compensation rate for their professional services in this docket," end quote. The matter is, of course, we've already selected Sabre to serve as, we found them qualified to serve as our expert in the docket. This is just simply clarifying language, which further instructs the chief clerk to finalize the contract terms with Sabre Partners LLC in regards to this engagement. So moved.
Commissioner Irvin, I want to ask for some clarification myself. Is your motion to remove that language you read?
Yes, the language in quotes from order number 2022-789.
Right, the sentence you read, you said it was clarifying language, and the clarification is to remove that language from the prior order. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 24 is in docket number 2022-254E. This is the motion for admission pro hoc vici of Dorothy Jaffe Esquire on behalf of the Sierra Club.
With regard to agenda item 24 and pro hoc vici admission, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin.
I move that the Commission grant the motion for admission pro hoc vici of Dorothy E. Jaffe Esquire on behalf of the Sierra Club. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 25 is in docket number 2022-255E, which is Duke Energy Progress LLC's application for approval of rider DSM EE-14, which increases residential rates and decreases non-residential rates.
With regard to agenda item 25, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston?
I move that the commission accept the adjustments proposed by the Office of Regulatory Staff to, one, remove $144,330 in costs associated with docket numbers 2021-143E and 2021-144E, and remove $309 in costs associated with items ORS identified as non-liable items such as gift cards, and approve rider DSM EE 14 as adjusted. With these adjustments, the updated rates for rider 14 are residential 1.235 cents per kilowatt hour, general services 0.98 cents per kilowatt hour. A formal order will follow this directive.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission. So moving on to the motor carrier agenda, item numbers 1 through 8 are requests for Class C certificates. Staff recommends that these items be taken together, and I will review them for the commission. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2022-376T, which is the application of Precious Adult Daycare Incorporated for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 2 is in docket number 2022-377T. This is the application of It's Sheila's LLC, doing business as Beatitudes Senior Transportation for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 3 is in docket number 2022-378T, which is the application of Z Services LLC for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 4 is in docket number 2022-381T, which is the application of Evelyn's Healing Touch LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 5 is in docket number 2022-380T, which is the application of Royal Non-Emergency Medical Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 6 is in docket number 2022-382T. This is the application of LBS Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 7 is in docket number 2022-383T, which is the application of HHI Express LLC for a Class C charter certificate. And item number 8 is in docket number 2022-384T. This is the application of SAS Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate.
Commissioners, we've heard the agenda items 1 through 8 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Vice Chair Powers?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the commission approve the applications for Class C certificates in items number 1 through 8 as listed by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 9 appears in docket number 2018-369T. This is the request of Bryant Peterson doing business as B&F Taxi Services for reinstatement of Class C taxi certificate number 9410.
With regard to transportation, agenda item 9, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I move that the commission grant reinstatement of Bryant Peterson doing business as B&F Taxi Services Class C Taxi Certificate Number 9410. The Office of Regulatory Staff has reported that the company has come into compliance with the commission's decal fee payment and insurance requirements.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the Commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. I note that today is our last regularly scheduled business meeting of the year. It's some respects this year's gone by very quickly. In other respects, it hasn't, but it's been a good year. And I get the pleasure on behalf of the commission, the commissioners, and the commission staff to wish everyone happy and safe holiday. And we will look forward to seeing you in 2023. And our next regularly scheduled business meeting will be Thursday, January 12th, 2023 at 2 p.m. And with that, we will close this proceeding. We are adjourned. Thank you.